Good morning. Anyone who likes craft beer would love to try the Founders Breakfast Stout if they haven't already tried it. How would I know? Because I haven't already tried it, and I would love to try it, and I have one right here. Today is going to be an interesting experiment for me because I am going to take them on the label at their word and have my breakfast stout for breakfast. I've had nothing else to eat today other than some coffee and some water, and I'm pretty hungry, honestly, and it's early afternoon, and so I've been up working and stuff, but more work to do. So now, why am I choosing this one? Well, because it's called Breakfast Stout, and this is my breakfast. I've been looking for a good time to try it for the first time, and I was having some trouble because at only, quote-unquote, only 8.3% ABV, it doesn't really edge into the Imperial Stout territory, does it? And why do I say this? Well, because most of my experimentation with stouts and my development of my appreciation for them has come from the more intense ones, the extreme Imperial Stouts, the dessert stouts, the milk stouts. Those are great late at night when it's cooled off, when it's dark, and you want to stay cozy and feel warm and toasty. High ABVs, right? Some of those are 13% ABV. This is much lower at just over 8%. So I don't really want to be drinking a 13% stout at 1 in the afternoon. But I probably shouldn't be drinking this stout at 1 in the afternoon. But that's, neither here nor there. So I don't actually want to say too much about this one because I just am kind of thirsty and hungry. Just a few more basics. The label, classic Founders, except this time with a strange baby on the front. Breakfast Stout, double chocolate, coffee oatmeal stout. It is a legend, of course. You probably might be aware, I don't know, that this is rated 100 on Beer Advocate, one of the very, very highest rated stouts in America, craft American stouts. I've been looking forward to trying it, and my last review, just last night, was of the Founders CBS, or Canadian Breakfast Stout, and that was a find. I didn't even fully realize till after I'd finished it what an incredible find it was. Have no fear, I realized as I was finishing it, not only what I knew that it was rare, but learned even more how rare it was, but yeah, so that was delicious, and that was my first Founders Stout. I've also loved the Founders Porter, Founders IPAs. I mean, Founders just crushes it in my book, and so just looking at the back of this, it says, 8.3% ABV, Founders Breakfast Stout, the coffee lovers, and I love coffee, the coffee lovers' consummate beer, brewed with an abundance of flaked oats, bitter and imported chocolates, and 2 types of coffee. This stout has an intense, fresh roasted Java nose topped with frothy cinnamon-colored head that goes forever. Bottled on August 6th of this year, so that puts us about 3 months in the bottle. Okay, I know this is a beer that can probably age, but is also probably good fresh. Okay, speaking of fresh, it's just recently out of the fridge, a few minutes outside in the sort of cool, but not hot, not cold. It's a cool beer still, definitely on the cooler side of cool, but not chilled, not freezing. Okay, so let's see how this goes. Sounds good when I open it. Looks nice. Already can smell it. Beautiful. Look at that. You know, though, I do smell that olive taste that I sometimes don't love with a porter and stout. I get that when I'm outside a lot of the times. I'm a little nervous about that because that's one of the only tastes that I have not, like taste profiles that I've not really loved in my stouts and porters. I don't know why coming outside has made me notice that more lately. That smell. Now, contrastingly, this sounds strange, but you might almost call it a cinnamon smell. I know cinnamon and olives don't sound alike at all, and I like the smell of cinnamon. I don't like the smell of olives. It's on this weird line. I don't know. Maybe it's just I have a weird... I don't know. Maybe there's something weird in my brain. You know, some people hate cilantro, right? It's like almost... I think it's genetic. It tastes different to them. So I'm wondering if there's anything like that going on here. I don't know. I mean, I love cilantro, so it wouldn't be that exact thing. Anyway, the experience of this beer, it's pretty rich looking. Let's just give it a taste. Whoa, not what I expected in any way. Weird. I've never tasted anything quite like that before, so that's why I'm struggling to say anything. Let's try that again. A bitter is one of my first words. Rich, chocolatey is another one. Coffee, mocha-y, yeah. Strange. It's strange. I don't know what taste that is. I guess that's a stout, a medium-bodied stout with a lot of coffee beans in it. So, I don't know yet. I think I'm gonna. Oh, let's see how it is as it warms up a little bit. I think that's going to make a big difference to this one. As it gets a little warmer, I think I'm going to get more excited about it. Current status is, I've had stouts I liked much better already. It's not that it's bad. This is a wonderful stout for what it is. I think it's more my palate. This is a little more of a basic stout, which I like. For example, with a pale ale or an IPA, I love basic, clean examples of them because I love those brews. I know what the extreme tastes like. I know what the clean and pure version of an IPA is supposed to taste like, and I can appreciate both ends. I'm still getting into my stouts and my porters. I think it's not surprising to me, knowing myself, that I'm working my way in sort of from the more extreme imperial and the more sweet dessert stouts, working my way in from that side towards something more like this, which is not as extreme, lower ABV, less dessert tasting, much less of a dessert. Well, of course, it's a breakfast stout, I guess. That makes sense. But then dessert is a taste you associate with breakfast for a lot of us. It's sweet cereal when we were younger, or pancakes and so forth. So I'm undecided. I'll check back in let's say 10-15 minutes, see how things are going. So this is about 15 minutes later with the Founders Breakfast Stout. Warmed up another 10-15 minutes, and my experience is this is the first time I've felt a little disappointed with one of these legendary beers. Well, not the first time, but in a few days of trying some of these super top-rated beers. I don't think that's the fault of this beer. I'm sure it's a great for what it is. I think it's like what I said earlier. It's maybe not sweet enough for me, or maybe not imperial enough for me. I think I've kind of got to have those extremes right now as I'm getting into stouts. This is not like that, and for some reason, because of that, I don't enjoy it nearly as much, and the tastes not being dominated by the things that I like the best, which are anywhere from bourbon barrel, that maple, coconut, sweet pastry stuff. Those are all working pretty well for me as I get into these stouts. Even the coffee, just coffee and dark chocolate. Now, it's kind of weird because I know this is supposed to be super coffee, super chocolatey, but I'm not perceiving or experiencing it like that. Yeah, see, I'm not experiencing a coffee or chocolate. And like I said, that could be on me. What I am getting is a bitter tasting beer. That's not a bad thing, but a malty, medium thick, sort of olive-y. I get that olive taste, I really do. I wish I didn't, but that taste, I still don't know what to call it, but that I don't like about some stouts and porters. I got it really bad with my very first review, which was the Icelandic smoked toasted porter. Got that. That was a really bad experience for that taste profile. But anyway, I'll probably wrap this up here in just a moment. I will have to say, unfortunately, this is not a beer that I'm super in love with at all. I don't think the beer's bad. I think it's probably great, but I just haven't gotten there yet. Maybe if I come back in 6 months, I'll think much differently. Maybe 3 months. Maybe 1 month at this rate. Side note, I guess, the idea of drinking a breakfast stout for breakfast. What do we think about that? Probably not the brightest decision I've ever followed out through on. I haven't had much, but I am in the classic feeling that I should just be sitting on the floor and talking to the camera like this. That's not a good sign this early in the day. have no fear. I mean, I just will drink it real slow, get some food in me, drink a bunch of water, probably have some more actual coffee. Who knows, maybe some real oatmeal. And I'll be back on my feet, no worries. But I am looking forward more to the other stuff in my fridge now. A lot of other... man, I think the one I can't stop thinking about is this creme brulee stout, milk stout, by a brewery I really like. That they do some... They're really good at doing weird stuff. So creme brulee milk stout sounds like it'll be awesome to me. Maybe tonight. I'm planning to, maybe with lunch, have an IPA. I got a real fresh one. Couple interesting IPA options still. And so I'll be back. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you found this insightful or useful in any way. I'm obviously not an expert in beers, but this is just my experience with some legendary beers, some crazy craft, exclusives, rare beers, local beers, Austin, Texas breweries. And I've been thinking also maybe I'll do some whiskeys or something, although it's a lot harder to review, like whiskeys and bourbons, just mainly because you can't just buy a single for $3. So anyway, like, subscribe, leave me a comment. It means so much to me if you do. Tell me what's on your mind, what you liked, what you're thinking, questions you have. And I will see you in the next review. One coming up later today. Talk to you then.